JEE Syllabus. JEE Syllabus Physics. General. Units and dimensions. Dimensional analysis. Least count. Significant figures. Methods of measurement and error analysis for physical quantities pertaining to the following experiments. Experiments based on using vernier calipers and screw gauge micrometer. Determination of G using simple bentulium. Young's modulus by Searles method. Specific heat of a liquid using calorimeter. Focal length of a concave mirror and a convex lens using UV method. Speed of sound using resonance column. Verification of Ohm's law using voltmeter and ammeter, and specific resistance of the material of a wire using meter bridge and post office box. Mechanics. Pneumatics in 1 and 2 dimension. Cartesian coordinates only. Projectiles. Uniform circular motion, relative velocity, Newton's law of motion, interior and uniformly accelerated frames of reference. Static and dynamic friction. Kinetic and potential energy or current power, conservation of linear momentum and mechanical energy, systems of particles, center of mass and its motion, impulse, elastic and inelastic collisions. Law of gravitation. Gravitational potential and field, acceleration due to gravity motion of planets and satellites in circular orbits, escape velocity, rigid body, moment of interior, parallel and perpendicular axis. Theorems. Moment of interior of uniform bodies with simple geometrical shapes. Angular momentum, torque, conservation of angular momentum, dynamics of rigid bodies with fixed axis of rotation, rolling without slipping of rings, cylinders and spheres, equilibrium of rigid bodies, collision of point masses with rigid bodies, linear and angular, simple harmonic motion, Hooke's law, Young's modulus. Pressure in a fluid, Pascal's law, buoyancy, surface energy and surface tension, capillary rise, viscosity, voiceless equation excluded, Stokes law, terminal velocity, streamline flow, equation of continuity, Bernoulli's theorem and its application, wave motion, plane waves only, longitudinal and transverse waves, superpositions of waves, percussive and stationary waves, vibrations of strings and air columns, resonance, beats, speed of sound in gases, Doppler effect in sound, thermal physics, thermal expansions of solids, liquids and gases, calorimetry, dilated heat, heat conduction in one dimension, elementary concepts of convection and radiation, Newton's law of cooling, ideal gas laws, specific heats, Cv and Cp for monoatomic and diatomic gases, isothermal and adiabatic process, bulk modulus of gases, equivalence of heat and work, first law of thermodynamics and its applications only for ideal gases, black body radiation, observative and emissive powers, Kirchhoff's law, Wien's displacement law, Stephen's law, electricity and mechanism, Coulomb's law, electric field and potential, electric potential energy of a system of point charges and of electric dipoles and a uniform electrostatic field, electric field lines, flux of electricity field, gases law and its application in simple case such as to find field due to infinitely long straight wire, uniformly charged infinity plane sheet and uniformly charged thin spherical shell, capacitance, parallel plate, capacitor with and without dielectrical, capacitor in serial and parallel, energy stored in a capacitor, electric current, Ohm's law, series and parallel arrangements of resistance and cells, Kirchhoff's laws and simple applications, heating effect of current, Biot-Savart's law and Ampere's law, magnetic field near a current carrying straight wire along the axis of circular coil and inside a long straight solenoid, force on a moving charge and on a current carrying wire in a uniform magnetic field, magnetic moment of a current loop, effect of a uniform magnetic field on a current loop, moving coil, galvanometer, voltmeter, ammeter and their conversion, electromagnetic induction, Faraday's law, Lenz's law, self and mutual inductance, RC, LR and LC circuits with DC and AC sources, aptics, rectilinear propagation of light, reflection and refraction at plane at spherical surfaces, total internal reflection, deviation and dispersion of light by a prism, thin lenses, combinations of mirrors and thin lenses, magnification, wave nature of light, Hughes principle, interference limited to Young's double slit experiment, modern physics, atomic nucleus, alpha, beta and gamma radiations, law of radioactive decay, decay constant, half-life and mean life, binding energy and its calculation. Fission and the fusion process, energy calculation in this process, photoelectric effect, Bogier's theory of hydrogen-like atoms, characteristics and continuous X-rays, Moseley's de Broglie wavelength of matter waves. Chemistry JEE syllabus, general topics, concept of atoms and molecules, Dalton's atomic theory, mole concept, chemical formula, balanced chemical equations, calculations based on mole concept, involving common oxidation, reduction, neutralization and displacement reactions, concentration in terms of mole fraction, molarity, molality and normality, gases and liquid status, absolute scale of temperature, ideal gas equation, deviation from ideally van der Waals equation, kinetic theory of gases, average, root mean square and most probable velocities and their relation with temperature, law of partial pressure, vapor pressure, divisions of gases, atomic structure and chemical bonding, Bohr model, spectrum of hydrogen atom, quantum numbers, wave particle duality, de Broglie hypothesis and certainly principle, qualitative quantum mechanical picture of hydrogen atom, shapes of S, P and T orbitals, electronic configurations of elements up to atomic number 36. Alpha principles, Bowley's exclusion principle and Handel's rule, orbital overlap and covalent band hybridization involving S, P and T orbitals only, orbital energy diagrams for homonuclear diametric species, hydrogen bond, polarity in molecules, dipole moment, qualitative aspects only, VSEBR model and shapes of molecules, linear, angular, triangle, square, planar, bigeminal, square pyramidal, triangle bipyramidal, tetrahedral and octahedral. Energetics. First law of thermodynamics, internal energy or kind of heat, pressure, volume, work. Etholoby Hess's law, heat of reaction, fusion and vaporization. Second law of thermodynamics is entropy, free energy, criticisms of spontaneity. Chemical equilibrium, law of mass action, equilibrium constant, LE, characteristic principle, effect on concentration, temperature and pressure, signification of Tg and Tgo and chemical equilibrium, solubility product, common ion effect, pH and perfect solutions, acids and bases, Bronsted and Lewis concepts, hydrolysis of salts, electrochemistry, electrochemical cells and cell reactions, standard electropotential, Nernst equation and its relation to Tg, electrochemical series, AMF of galvanic cells, Faraday's laws of electrolysis, electrolytic conductance, specific, equivalent and molar conductivity, Kogeller's law, concentration cells. Chemical kinetics, rates of chemical reactions, order of reactions, rate constant, first order reactions, temperature, dependence of rate constant, Arrhenius equation. Solid state, classifications of solids, crystalline state, 7 crystal systems, cell parameters A, B, C, alpha, beta, gamma, closed packet structure of solids, cubic, packing in FCC, PCC and HCP lactates, nearest neighbors, ionic ready solution, Rowlett's law, molecular weight, determination from lowering of vapor pressure, elevation of boiling point and depression of freezing point. Surface chemistry, elementary concepts of observation excluding observation isotherms, colloids, types, methods of preparation and general properties, elementary ideas of emulsions, surface and Michael's only definitions and examples. Nuclear chemistry, radioactivity, isotopes and isobars, properties of alpha, beta and gamma rays, kinetics of radioactive decay, decay series excluded, carbon dating, stability of nuclei with respect to proton-neutron radio. Brief discussion on fission and fusion reactions. In organic chemistry, isolation, preparation and properties of the following non-metals, boron, silicon, nitron, phosphorus, oxygen, sulfur and halogenous, properties of allotropes of carbon, only diamond and graphite, phosphorus and sulfur. Preparation and properties of the following components: oxides, peroxides, hydroxide, carbonates, bicarbonates, chlorides and sulfates of sodium, potassium, magnesium and calcium, boron, diboron, boric acid and borax, aluminium, alumina, aluminium chloride and alums, carbon, oxides and oxalic acid, carbonic acid, silicon, silicones, silicates and silicon carbide, nitrogen, oxide, acids and ammonia, phosphorus, oxides, oxyacids, phosphorus acid, phosphoric acid and phosphorine, oxygen, ozone and hydrogen peroxide, sulfur, hydrogen sulfide, oxide sulfurous acid, sulfuric acid and sodium thiosulfate, halogens, hydraulic acids, acid and oxoacids of chlorine, bleaching powder, xenon fluorides. Transition elements 3D series JEE syllabus. Definition: general characteristics, oxidation states and their stabilities, color excluding the details of electronic transitions and calculations of spin only, magnetic moment, coordination compounds, nomenclature of mononuclear coordination compounds, cis strands and isonation isomerism, hydrobracation and geometrics of mononuclear coordination, compounds linear, tetrahedral, square planar and octahedral. Preparation and properties of the following components: oxides and chlorides of tin and lead, oxides, chlorides and sulfates of Fe2+, Cu2+ and Zn2+, potassium permanganate, potassium dichromate, silver oxide, silver nitrate, silver thiosulfate. Ores and minerals JEE syllabus. Commonly occurring ores and minerals of iron, copper, tin, lead, mechanism, aluminium, zinc and silver. Extractive metallurgy JEE syllabus. Chemical principles and reactions only, industrial details excluded. Carbon reduction method, iron and tin. Self reduction method, copper and lead. Electrolytic reduction method, mechanisms and aluminium cyanide process, silver and gold, organic chemistry. Concepts JEE syllabus. Hydrobrization of carbon, sigma and bi bonds, shapes of simple organic molecules, structural and geometrical isomerism, optical isomerism of components containing up to two isometric centers. R, S and E is nomenclature excluded. IUPAC nomenclature of simple organic components, only hydrocarbons, monofunctional and bifunctional components. Conformations of ethane and butane, Newman projects resonance and hydrogenation, keto-endoterism, determination of empirical and molecular formula of simple components, only computation method. Hydrogen bonds, definition and their effects on physical properties of alcohols and carbohydrate acids, inductive and resonance effects and activity and basicity of organic acids and bases, polarity and inductive effects in alkyl halides, reactive intermediates produced during homomoletic and heterolytic bond cleavage, formation, structure and stability of carbocation, carbanions and free radicals. Preparation, properties and reactions of alkanes, homologous series, physical properties of alkanes, melting points, boiling points and density, combustion and halogenation of alkanes, preparation of alkanes by Wood's reaction and decarbolization reactions, preparation, properties and reactions of alkenes and alkynes, physical properties of alkenes and alkynes, boiling points, density and dipole moments, activity of alkynes, acid catalyze hydration of alkanes and alkanize, excluding the stereochemistry of addition and elimination, reactions of alkenes with KMnO4 and ozone, reduction of alkenes and alkynes, preparation of alkenes and alkynes by elimination reactions, electrophilic addition reactions of alkenes with X2, HX, HOX and H2O, X halogen addition reactions of alkynes, metal oxidylase, reactions of benzene JEE syllabus, structure and atomically, electrophilic substitution reactions, halogenation, nitrogen, sulfonation, Friedel-Crafts alkylation and acylation effect of OM and P directing groups in monosubstitution benzenes. Phenols JEE syllabus acidity, electrophilic substitution reactions, halogenation, nitration and sulfonation, Reamer-Tiemann reaction, Kolbe reaction. Characteristics reactions of the following, including those maintained above: alkyl halidase rearrangement reactions of alkyl carbocation, Grignard reaction, nucleophilic substitution reactions, alcohols, esterification, dihydrogenation and oxidation reaction with sodium, phosphorus halidase, ZnCO12 slash concentrate HCl, conversion of alcohols into aldehydes and ketones. Mathematics, algebra JEE syllabus, algebra of complex numbers, addition, multiplication, conjunction, Euler representation, properties of modules and principal argument, triangle, inequality, cube roots of unity, geometric interpretation, quadratic equation with real coefficients, relations between roots and coefficients, formulations of quadratic equation with given roots, symmetric functions of roots, arithmetic, geometric and harmonic progression. Arithmetic, geometric and harmonic means sums of finite arithmetic and geometric progression. Infinity geometric series, sums of squares and cubes of the first and natural numbers. Logarithms and their properties, permutations and combination, phenomenal theorem for a positive integral index, properties of phenomenal coefficients. Matrix as a rectangular array of real numbers, equality of matrix, addition, multiplication by a scalar and product of matricals, transpose of a matrix, determinant of a square, matrix of order up to 3, inverse of a square, matrix of order up to 3. Properties of these matrix operation, diagonal, symmetric and skew symmetric matrix and their properties, solutions of simultaneous linear equations in 2 or 3 variables, addition and multiplication, rules of probability, conditional probability, Bayes theorem, independence of events, computation of probability events using permutation and combination. Trigonometry, trigonometric functions, their periodicity and graphs, addition and subtraction formula, formula involving multiple and submultiple angles, general solutions of trigonometric equations, relations between sides and angles of a triangle, sine rule, cosine rule, half angle rule, formula and the area of a triangle, inverse trigonometric functions, principal value only, analytical geometry. 2 dimensions JEE syllabus, Cartesian coordinates, distance between 2 points, section formula, shift of origin, equation of a straight line in various forms, angle between 2 lines, distance of a point from a line, lines through the point of intersection of 2 given lines, equation of the bisector of the angle between 2 lines, concurrency of lines, centroid, orthocenter, incenter and circumferences of a triangle, equation of a circle in various forms, equations of tangent, normal and chord, parametric equations of a circle, intersections of a circle with a straight line or a circle, equation of a circle through the points of intersection of 2 circles and those of a circle and a straight line, equations of a parabola, ellipse and hyperbola in standard form, their FOCI, characteristics and eccentricity parametric equations, equations of tangent and normal locus problems. 3 dimensions, directions, coselines and direct radiation, equation of a straight line in space, equation of a plane, distance of a point from a place. Differential calculus, real valued functions of a real variable, into, onto and one-to-one functions, sum, difference, product and quantity of 2 functions, composite functions, absolute value, polynomial, radiational, trigonometric, exponential and logarithmic functions, limit and continuity of a function, limit and continuity of the sum, difference, product and equivalent of 2 functions, L. Hospital's rule of evolution of limits of function, even and odd functions, inverse of a function, continuity of composite functions, intermediate value, property of continuous functions, derivative of a function, derivative of the sum, difference, product and quantity of 2 functions, chain rule, derivatives of polynomial, radiational, trigonometric, inverse trigonometric, exponential and logarithmic functions. Derivatives of implicit functions, derivatives up to order 2, geometrical interpretation of the derivative, tangents and normals, increasing and decreasing functions, maximum and minimum values of a function, Rolle's theorem and Lagrange's mean value theorem. Integral calculus, JEE syllabus. Integration as the inverse process of differentiation. Identify integrals of standard functions. Define integrals and their properties. Fundamentals theorem of integral calculus. Integration by parts. Integration by the methods of substitution and partial fractions. Applications of definite integrals to the determination of areas involving simple curves. Formation of ordinary differential equations, solutions of homogeneous differential equation, separations of variables. Method: linear first order differential equations. Vectors: addition of vectors, scalar multiplication, dot and cross products, scalar triple products and their geometrical interpretations.